The weekend bringing us in as we kick off your weekend right here on Good Morning Football. Happy Friday. Our show is presented by DraftKings. That's right, fantasy football is still here in the daily fashion, and we're here on the daily Monday through Friday, our last show of the week. Not really. We'll be here on Sunday as part of a very special game day, Super Bowl 55 Sunday. It's February 5th. My name's Kay Adams, Peter Schrager, Kyle Brandt, Michael Robinson. All here, guys. How we feeling?
Feeling excellent. It's go time. It's go time. I always feel excellent when I hear the weekend. I can't get enough of it. I play air keyboard like John Tesh. Those songs work.
Are we not making picks on today's show?
I think we're doing it Sunday.
Yeah.
I was about to say no picks today.
No picks.
Oh, because Mike's not ready. Plus, it's a very difficult pick.
It's a very difficult pick. I got some film to watch.
We've got some bold predictions, though.
Okay, that's true. Anybody talk to Nate? Is he going to send us a selfie video to air on Sunday with his pick?
Yeah.
We have to.
Kick a rhyme, Nate. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Let's put it in a flow or something.
At GMFB, a huge show today. Melissa Etheridge joining the program. Mike Zimmer and Dalvin Cook together. That should be fun. Ron Rivera will be on our program, and it is time for the lead block. Let's get it going.
Lead block.
Shout out to Buchanan this morning. Our Randy Moss, he's with the Chiefs in Kansas City. Kim Jones is in Tampa. Kim, Randy, appreciate you being here. And Mr. Moss, we start with you. The Chiefs hit the practice field yesterday. Tell us everything we need to know from Kansas City. Write us a little postcard this morning.
Well, the postcard yesterday started like this. When it came time for practice at 10:45 a.m. Central, Kansas City suddenly started looking like Fargo. 32 degrees, snow, heavy winds. So Andy Reid made the decision to move the practice, reluctantly, we're told, indoors to their nice, warm, and toasty field house. Now, today he's got a decision to make. Practice time today, it's supposed to be upper 30s, but sunny. So we'll see what he chooses to do practice time today. Now, whether they're indoors or outdoors for practice is probably irrelevant to the outcome of the game. More important was that yesterday, Sammy Watkins and Le'Veon Bell were both practicing for a second consecutive day, although in limited fashion. And this might be important, too. Tyreek Hill, who's been so much fun all week, he's been a breath of fresh air. He says Patrick Mahomes has been on a roll in practice. He says Mahomes always looks good in practice. He always throws dots. That's what Tyreek says. Now, according to Tyreek, Mahomes is throwing crazy dots. Kim?
Well, Randy, thanks so much. As we stand here today, Tom Brady and Michael Jordan tied with 6 championships apiece. Tom, of course, gunning for number 7 on Sunday against those Chiefs. And this doesn't sound like it's not, in fact, a last dance for Tom Brady. He says he will consider playing past 45. He's 43 now. He also says, Kay, and this amazed me, he said he's going to train harder this offseason and that next year as a Buck can be so much better than his first season. Kay, the guy is amazing.
Kim, it doesn't make sense. It continues to not make sense at 43, and it will continue to not make sense at 45. I mean, how many championships does one man need? He's got 6 going for 7.
All of them.
Mahomes looking to run it back. Thank you so much to Kim and to Randy, respectively. We'll have you on throughout the morning. We've dissected this game for 2 weeks straight now. We are now 2 days away. What is the biggest question mark still? You guys started off the morning by saying, Peter, you don't want to make picks yet. Yeah. So what's the question?
The biggest question mark heading into the Super Bowl for me is for the team that Randy Moss was just describing as playing in Fargo this week, in cold, and wondering, should they be inside, should they be outside, and then traveling on a Saturday, which is tomorrow, to the Super Bowl site, and then going and playing a Super Bowl. The home field advantage thing hasn't been talked about at all, nearly enough. Yeah. I know that it was like a fun story, like they're going to be home for the Super Bowl, first team ever. We did it 2 weeks ago, and we haven't really mentioned it this week, and it's not us, it's everyone. I think it's a tremendous advantage. Buccaneers, they will be sleeping in their own beds on Saturday night. They will be rolling to the stadium around 2 o'clock in their own cars. They'll get out, they'll go to their locker, they'll sit at their locker room, and then they'll play on their field in their conditions. It's supposed to rain on Sunday morning. Guess what? It's okay. We know that. We live here. That's our natural climate. That is our natural habitat. The Chiefs are going to be sleeping in a hotel after unpacking, after doing all the Super Bowl stuff. And yes, they've been there before, and sure, they've won on the road, and they've done all these things. It's the most unorthodox Super Bowl of all time. It's being played in another team's building. And I think it's a huge deal.
Really?
I'll take it one step further on this. This week, there was a news story that the Buccaneers won't be able to shoot the cannons. Yeah. And we all laughed at that. It's funny, whatever. I know for a fact that the Buccaneers fought hard for the league to be like, no, we should be able to shoot the cannons. We have earned it. We are here at the Super Bowl. Like, that is part of our tradition. We are in our stadium. And the Chiefs high up in their organization were like, no, you don't get to shoot the cannons, which then got back to Tampa, and the Tampa guys, honestly, in their building are like, they're worried about the cannons. That's what we've got them right where we got, like, the psychological stuff starts coming into it.
It's supposed to be neutral.
It's supposed to be neutral.
Neutrality.
7,500 fans are guests of the NFL as healthcare workers. They're all locally from the Tampa area. Yeah. It's going to be a Tampa crowd. I know Kansas City travels.
Yeah.
I think the home field advantage.
Yeah,
wow.
You think it's real like that?
They're already in their head about the cannons.
We've never seen it before. It's a home game for the Bucs.
I do think it's a small advantage to your point. You know, when we played in our Super Bowl in New York, just knowing where the locker room is, knowing how to get around the locker room, you know, knowing where the cold tub is, how cold it is. All of those things does help. But I think if it was a normal Super Bowl, it'd be even more of a home field advantage with all the distractions. I think the fact that Kansas City's coming in the day before, they're treating it like a normal game. They're just going to go in, play, and before you know it, the game's going to be over. Then they're going to look back and see how big of a job it was. But I think the biggest question is going to be protecting Patrick Mahomes. I mean, we saw what happened with his toe a few weeks ago. He says is healthy, but I'm not going to lie to you. My big toe was part of the reason why I'm not playing anymore. I had a sharp tooth about that big taken out of my joint on my big toe. You can't do anything without the big toe being straight. And then those two tackles, right? The starting tackles are gone, guys. Like, we can talk about Patrick Mahomes being superhuman and all of these things, but the fact of the matter is, guys, he's human.
Right.
Okay? He can't run away from everything. Okay? At some point, hits will get to him. At some point, Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy has to figure out a way to get the ball out of his hands so that he does not take the assault that I know Todd Bowles and this defense can put on this Kansas City offense. Just one thing before I let you go, Kyle. Look, sacks. You look at this Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense, they have sacks from their defensive backs. They have sacks from their secondary and their linebacker level. It's not just the front four. So I think Todd Bowles is going to go after Patrick Mahomes, and we're going to see if he can hold up to that heat.
They're so fast. They're not just good, they're really fast. And it brings me to my point. Kay, you started this by saying we've dissected this game for 2 weeks. I think it's appropriate at this point to just take a look at some of the tools of our dissection. This is what we have done for 2 weeks. These are our scalpels. These are our probes. This is our show leading up to Bucs Chiefs.
What do you think and make of this Chiefs offense? Is there any way to slow them down, or are they a juggernaut? What is the biggest challenge for the Chiefs, though, in Super Bowl 55?
The Chiefs. Unbelievable offense. Andy Reid's a genius. No one can stop them.
Okay, is stellar defense the only way the Bucs can upset these Chiefs?
They need it, of course, but you need everything to beat the Chiefs.
And what is the biggest threat, do you guys think, to Kansas City and then securing a run-it-back situation?
What's the key to beating the Chiefs? What's the key to slowing down the Chiefs? What is the biggest threat to their victory? Which weekend song best describes how the Chiefs will lose this game? All right, so we've tried. And here's the thing about that montage. I think those are all good questions.
They're all fair.
And I think they're the right question, because here's why. For the first time in 20 years, Tom Brady is an underdog in a Super Bowl.
Wow.
This breaks the streak of 8 straight Super Bowls in which he is not favored. It's the first one against Kurt Warner. It's 8 straight. So the question is, can Mahomes actually lose? Like, I would boil that down to, can they actually beat this guy?
Wow. I mean, look.
Mike, let me get into it. No, let me get into it.
Bro.
Because I'm going to explain it. Because
crazy.
Last Super Bowl, he's beaten on the stage before. I think he played one of the lesser games of his career. Still won. We saw him in a game throw 3 interceptions this year. Still won. We saw him down 2 scores to Buffalo, won by 2 touchdowns. We saw him down 24 points in a playoff game, won by 3 touchdowns. He even got knocked out of the divisional round. That was it. The empire's over. Mahomes is gone. They still won.
Chad Henne.
They don't lose. They just don't lose games. Of course they can be beat on the field, but everything I see from Mahomes, and the reason we ask those questions, is that it seems almost impossible. That's my question. Can someone actually beat this guy? Because I don't see it.
Man, get the hell out of here, man. Are you talking about this dude like he is a baby Jesus walking around up there? I mean, he is a human being.
Scoreboard. Look up at it. It says Mahomes 1, you 0.
I understand that, but oftentimes the reason why they're able to come back is because the other team usually panics. They don't stay with their game plan and beat them up. They panic and they allow all this speed to run around. I'm sorry, I'm not saying Patrick Mahomes isn't great. Okay, so all my Kansas City Chiefs fans, get off my Twitter, get off my social media. He's great, right? But you're talking about Tom Brady and the GOAT, man. I can't put him ahead of him yet. I mean, I got to see more of a longer track record. I got to see Patrick Mahomes possibly win without Andy Reid. I got to see Patrick Mahomes possibly win without all that speed on the outside. It's more help with Patrick Mahomes than just Patrick Mahomes.
You're getting into a GOAT conversation, which we will do later, I think. But I just think Mahomes can't be beaten in this game. He doesn't lose games. He doesn't. It doesn't happen.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
Oh, so you're picking the Bucs?
I know, I'm just saying.
Ah.
I'm not saying, see, you're trying to back me into a corner. I'm not saying that. All I am saying is he can't be beat.
Okay.
We'll keep it going. We'll give you all the updates, all the details you need. Of course, weather will be a thing to keep our eyes on. 60% chance of rain in the forecast right now in Tampa, but that can change on a whim because it's Florida, of course. So you can enhance your Super Bowl experience as a fan live. There's 7 camera angles, all with Verizon 5G. It's Verizon 5G Super Stadium. It's in the NFL app, which is nice and easy.